Hi, we're on day 15 of this journey, and I've found some pretty interesting information that I think you're going to want to hear. So, last time we talked about how I no longer believe that the world is going to end anytime soon in general. But then I kind of thought that it is possible for it to end on December 21st. It just depends on how it happens. I don't think that it's going to end due to natural causes like natural disasters, planets aligning, comets, meteors, and things like that. I just don't think that that's possible because there's scientific evidence that it's not going to happen. There is, however, the very out there possibility that either a few people or even one person can make the decision to end the world. There's always the possibility of society breaking down. There could be somebody that has the means and the plan to hack into some sort of electronic system and shut down basically everything that kind of makes our society run: technology, electricity, just societal order in general. There could be some sort of fire sale, like we're in Live Free, Die Hard or something, and society can completely break down from that. That's possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but there could be somebody out there that thinks that this should happen, or even as a result of the mass hysteria is convinced into believing that it should happen and that this is going to be good for the society, for that it's like a sort of rebirth. Another thing that can happen is wars could break out, whether it's fighting social groups like race riots. The Occupy movement could all of a sudden flare up again. People could start looting things. It's like the actual hysteria could cause this, not just people actually being angry, but just because they think that they can do all these things because the world's ending anyway. When people think that they're going to die, or there's a war or a natural disaster or some sort of I'm going to die anyway, they kind of take the YOLO approach and start to just steal everything. Steal stuff, fight with people, because why not? Then there's always the nuclear tactic. There is apparently, I learned that there's apparently some guy that it's his job to hold the key to the nuclear missiles for the US. There's this one guy, and it's literally his job to wait for the call to send missiles into some other country. I don't know exactly how that works. I tried to research it, and I don't know if there's some sort of code that he needs from the president or something like that, so that it wouldn't rest in his hands alone. But if there's not that kind of precaution, then he could just decide to bomb people whenever he wanted. But we have this idea after the Cold War, once nuclear missiles were developed and fully functional, there was always this hysteria that we could just be bombed at any point. There's just all these things that could happen. Any country could just decide to have this happen at any point because we have this idea of mutually assured destruction. We're not going to kill you, but we could if we wanted to. That's terrifying to think of, that I could just be on my way to class one day and China or Russia or whatever country could just be like, wow, I really don't like America, let's bomb them, and then big toast. That would suck. Just all hell would break loose. It's a problem. So I found out that there's 20,000 warheads in the world's combined stockpile of nuclear missiles. 20,000. So we know that if the U.S., that contains 8,500 nuclear missiles, decides to bomb Russia has 10,000 nuclear weapons. So obviously some war is going to happen, and all the other countries are going to get involved, and we're going to go into World War III, and Russia's going to start bombing people. The UK is our ally, so they're going to be like, oh, we're going to take our 225 missiles and fire them at whoever is against the US. Then France is going to be like, wait, we usually side with the UK because we do whatever they do, so we're going to just join with them. And so they're going to take their 300 and fire it at whoever they want. How does France have more nuclear weapons than the UK? I feel like France is too laid back for that. Like, France doesn't really do anything. They just kind of help out when needed, but they don't actively cause anything that destructive. I wouldn't think that they would have more than whatever. Russia's there, and China's right below Russia, so they're probably going to have some sort of alliance of some kind, and so they're going to take their 240 and fire it at whatever, and then North Korea's over there, and they only have like 8 or 9, but they're going to fire them at whoever they want to fire them at. And then India and Pakistan, which both have around 100, and Israel that has around 80, they're just going to, I mean, Israel and Pakistan, they're right there, and so we're going to have a Middle Eastern war, and then India is right next to China, and then all these other countries that don't have any, like Canada and South American countries and Australia, they're just going to be so confused. They're not going to know who to join sides with. Are they going to join the side that has the most nuclear weapons just so that they don't get bombed, or they're going to join the side that they actually want to help support? But then again, because they have no nuclear weapons, they honestly can't do anything because there's not really much you can do to withstand a nuclear attack. Basically, I've concluded today that there can be some sort of man-made destruction that could end the world on the 21st. Again, it's not likely, but it's still kind of scary to think of that somebody could just end the world with a push of a button. Yikes. Right, so we have War by Edwin Starr. It's our song of the day, because what is it good for? Absolutely nothing, especially when it kills the entire world. Okay, bye!